All right, welcome back to SOS Unfiltered. I'm Staff Sergeant Badass. It's early. I'm barely awoke. I'm barely awoke yet. Woke. What is that? That's hilarious. All right, so I got stuff on my mind. It's like 3 a.m. and I'm up like usual. It's typical routine. I already had myself some breakfast. It's that I've been up that long. It's 3 a.m. and I've already had breakfast. And then taking my daily routine. Is it Tuesday? This is how I'm keeping track of it. It's Tuesday, right? It's Tuesday. I have to keep track of this stuff. And it's not major medication, but I have to take my vitamins, right? I'm going to make sure I take these things. They're probably going to make me sick. And then later I'm going to be like, you ever take vitamins and you're like, oh, I shouldn't have took that. It sometimes happens, but I've got to eat something first or my stomach will go, ugh. It'll turn upside down. I've got a point in just a minute. Oh, big ol' hunk. Making sure I do this. All right, so my thoughts. I was a little irritated this morning. I'm serious. I was a little irritated this morning. I got to thinking about stuff, and it was right when I got up, and I got to thinking about folks and groups and all this other stuff. It doesn't make any sense to me the things that people do and put themselves through. Doesn't make any sense to me at all. Maybe people are too ambitious. Maybe people are just way too flippin' excited, right? They get way too excited, way too anxious. Anxious is the word. I think I found someone that is like me. I am going to drive it crazy, sit on it, and squish it. That sometimes happens. I'm going to show them so much attention that they run away. That happens. I There's so many different things that I can name off here. It's going to happen. And if you're not in one yet, you will find out at some point that could happen. But it might not happen to certain individuals, but some individuals get a little bit of extra attention that's probably not required. So this also goes into how fast do you want to move? Let's take this thing slow, right? I'm such a dork. Let's take this thing slow. Easy now. Easy. Some folks need to approach these things like that. It is a must. It is a must. Take it slow because some people get in too big of a hurry and then they will collapse. It'll happen. The whole thing will implode. And it's done. Toast. Just like that. Done. No more. So now there's phases for these things, and it's the reason I'm going to go back to something that I always go back to, and it's military training and experience. Why am I doing this? Why am I making that a factoid in this whole thing? Because I just remember if you ever got in a conflict with a brother or sister in arms, you had to see them every day, right? You had to see them every day. So there wasn't this spineless crap where someone hides somewhere or anything. No, no. If there's a conflict, you get a post-it note on your desk that says "Meet me by the Connex box," and you get socked in the nose, right? It's not like that in real life. It's in this. I guess we call this real life, right? Is it everyday routine? For me. Uh, I get to thinking about groups that get together and they go through this crazy stuff, man. All right, listen up, man. And you've got people there that are like they're like in their 50s, and we're gonna bring our bug out bags. We're going on this hike. It's a hump. It's a hump. We're going in this direction, and we're gonna go for 20 miles or 10 miles or 5 miles or 3 or a mile or half a mile. It doesn't matter. You're taking people completely out of this See what it, see how I started this off, and I took my vitamins, I'm drinking my water. So I wanted to start it off like that for a reason, to get to this point. All right. I have my routine. I go to the gym. I do physical activity. Am I super spectacular awesome? Nope. Not absolutely not. You know what I mean? I struggle like the next dude, so it's just one of those things. And everyone there is there for a reason. Everyone in the gym is there for a reason, right? They're all doing that for a reason. There's a reason why they're there. And it's just like people who train all the time. They're there for a reason. They have to keep doing it or they lose it. They lose it fast. I said that to say this. You take people that are in their daily lives, daily routines, and then you put them in a combat evolution. Like combat evolved. You just went from driving a Honda Civic to now you're over here rushing with a pack on your back. I'm just throwing it out there. Let's come up with my fake stage names again. Here we go. We'll do Dave. I like Dave. Dave's a nice name. Let's use Dave. All right, so Dave works a 9 to 5 in a little cubicle somewhere, and he looks like this most of the time, well, those little gribbly creatures. And he goes from that to, all right, Dave, listen up. Fall in. Dave just went from can I help you today to oh my goodness, what is this? And everyone's yelling and screaming, come on, let's go. What? And Dave is, let's just say Dave's in his 40s, right? Let's put him in my age bracket. He's in his 40s, okay? So Dave's in his 40s. He's been working at 9 to 5 his whole life. There are stages to this trash, right? This is my point. I'm rambling. There are stages to this trash, right? You need to put a fool through some training to get them to that point. This is where you say, hey, everyone, show up in rainbow gear. Rainbow gear meaning whatever type of civilian attire you want to run in. And like Adidas sweats, you want to wear some Converse, go for it. Whatever it is. It's probably been a while since some people have heard rainbow gear. But I'm pretty sure it's very familiar amongst the branches of service. So show up in some rainbow gear for PT. Do that for your events. If you're gonna host some physical activity, no. If it's like this, it's like the guy who buys the rifle and never shoots it, never zeroes it in. BZO something. Take that for example. The guy who buys a rifle and doesn't buy a sling, never thinks to put out slinging it and pulling it into their arm or anything. It's ridiculous. It's just like the person who buys the pack without the waist strap, right? And that little clasp thing. It's just a backpack. It's like My Little Pony backpack. It's just, that's all it is. Just throwing it out there. It doesn't make any sense to me. That versus this. This is good. That versus this. This is good. And I can go through a long list of things that people are doing wrong here. And it's a rush. And people are going to get burnt out. They're not going to like it. They're not going to have fun doing it. They're going to hate it. They're going to be miserable. Or you might get the reverse effect. Congratulations. You might get 1 or 2 that say, I want to do that again. But then look at their background. Say Dave shows up to this thing and goes, man, this was exhilarating. What if Dave has a background into something? What did Dave do before? What was Dave, right? Maybe he was in the army. He was in, he did some sort of particular job, and it's been, 20 years since he's gotten involved in stuff like that. Or maybe 10 years since he's gotten involved in stuff like that. And he felt floored and awesome and just great. There's a possibility, but how many show up to these things that are in that particular order? You might get 2. You might get 2 that are falling into that particular field. that it is muscle memory to them, and they just fall right back into it. There's a reason why folks conduct baby steps in training. There's a reason why we have this, and then this, and then this. When you go, all right, for some of you out there, let's just do some basics real quick. If you decided, okay, for some of you that have experience in firearms, congratulations. Let's move on to folks that don't. All right. You don't have experience in firearms like everyone else. Check. When you bought a firearm for a first time, how did that make you feel? Looking at it, right? You're staring at it like it's a foreign object, right? It's an extreme foreign object. It's foreign to your home. It makes you a little bit uneased, right? Is that the feeling? I mean, even if I've experienced that, then I know what most people have. For me, it was 11 years old when I owned a gun, okay? So I don't fit the same script as everybody else. Some folks didn't own one till they were 15, 16, 20, 21. Some in their 30s, 40s, 50s, right? For the first time, right? That was their first. And they look at it differently. They look at it, this is dangerous. This is a dangerous item right here in front of me. And I'm looking at it. So that's how they treat that stuff. So what do they need to do? Should oh man. Dave's never seen a gun before, and he's in his 40s and he just bought a gun. And he's looking at it as a foreign object to him. Should he just strap up? What, straight out of Compton, right? Just go ahead and load bearing vest and everything. Just go rocking the streets. Put some 1911 magazines right here in the front. Is that something Dave should do? Absolutely not. No way. Has Dave even shot it yet? Has Dave had any training in this? Does Dave understand how to break down a 1911? Does he even know how to clean it? Right? Probably not. So someone needs to show him how to do all that stuff before we go from 0 to 100 miles an hour, right? All right, Dave, it's time. Grab your chute. We're jumping out of this perfectly good airplane right now. We're doing this, right? Woo! Woo! Yeah, No, that's not what you do with Dave. Dave is he's making progress, right? He's making baby steps. Because if you go slamming on the gas or running over him with you give someone a push. You don't run them out into the street and hit them with a garbage truck. That's not how this works. You're not going to get anyone to want to stay long if you treat them that way. You have to start off in a slow process, right? Or you're going to lose a lot of folks or it's just going to be what? Okay, yeah, so I have this thing. It's like a doctor's appointment or something. What? Why can't Dave come? He says he's got a doctor's appointment. See what I mean? And you're going to end up with a lot of that if you don't take baby steps, right? You're going to need some baby steps. You can't go flooring it on people. It's like me asking a group of people if they want to do combatives. Yeah, cricket. You know what I mean? No one's going to jump right into that. It needs to be some sort of baby steps into some kind of some sort of progressive type thing. It's like, all right, we're not doing combatives. This is just some basic movements that we need to go over. Start off with some basic stuff. Okay. All right, I feel comfortable with this. This is cool. All right, now what's the next step of this? There's many phases to just combatives. I mean, there's where you just stand in one place. There's no physical contact for weeks, right? Keep that in mind. There's no physical contact for weeks. That's not how this works. That's if you went every day. If you went every day to this, there's no physical contact for weeks, right? There's no putting two people together, you and you, fight. It's not like that. That's not how any of this works. It's like what was that insurance? Was it Geico or something like that? Or Progressive? I can't remember which commercial it was. That's not how any of this works. Oh, man. Oh, anyway, I digress. I'm running all over the place now. I'm not even thinking straight. All right, so you'd want to take people through some training regiments first, like kind of like what they do in the military. You show up, you have no idea how to tie your shoes. You take Dave along. Dave learns how to tie shoes, buckle his pants. He's all right. So you want me to wear the sweatshirt over the green shirt? Got it. Okay. All right. And you wear your hat like this. Okay. And we're gonna put a name tape back here with all right. So you're A positive, whatever you are. You put that on there too. There you go. Last name. We'll just say it's Dave. All right. Dave, A positive. Got it. Check. Check Raj. The Raj is checked. So Dave is squared away now. Dave's squared. He's just walking with a group. All right. We got 6 of us here, or 12, whatever the number is. All right. We're walking in a group now, and everyone's together as a team, and that would make more sense, right? That would make more sense. You start to build unit cohesion, right? Start to build that a very strong esprit de corps, right? Start to build that as you work together in these stages as you progress, and a lot of motivation happens from that. Everyone's doing the same thing. Everyone's showing up to the same thing. You don't have separate groups inside the group, right? There's not like the cool kid group and then the okay, so we're not so cool, so we're gonna sit inside group. There's not split up groups of people, right? So everyone's on the same. No, if you're gonna be a part of this, you all sit here. This is where we are. We don't play around over here and play patty cake over there. Keep that in mind. I mean, that stuff shows an image. It reps an image of what you're showing folks. And this goes for anyone creating one of these groups out there. These are the images that you show them. This is what you're showing them. And I'm just saying. And I know I make sense. I know it makes sense because I've seen it a million times. I've sat around hundreds of Marines, and I was the crazy weirdo voice that had to get everyone in order or find order, right? I was the one that had to do that every single day of my life at 4 a.m, doing that every single morning, sometimes without coffee, right? All right, I ain't got time for this. We're going to do this. Done. You know what I mean? I'm not talking to those people anymore. I'm talking to regular folks that do regular jobs every freaking day. So I don't have that same thing going on. But the thing is you would see, Corporal Stir the Pot over here. Corporal Stir the Pot being toxic, spreading toxic behavior to all these other people in Corporal Toxic's little area, right? He might have 5, 6 folks in his little group, might even have 10 in his little group. But the thing is, his behavior towards those folks and making them toxic creates, I know there's actually a book and a manual on this particular thing, and it's I got it. Bing! It's called sabotage. They can, just because one person hates it, it can be sabotaged. I'm just throwing it out there. So if a person feels left out, it will be sabotaged. It will be completely destroyed and unraveled just like that. So you need to keep that in mind when you build these things. I'm just saying. That needs to go into the thought process of splitting up folks in these little things. So that would be my second recommendation for any of this stuff. I will say that. But the first and foremost, most important thing is to baby step it, not full throttle. You can't do a whole no physical activity whatsoever and then put them in an environment where what are you trying to prove to them, that they can't carry their stuff? Because you're going to end up with a lot of folks that are struggling. I'm just saying, if I did this right now, if I said, hey, on this date, I need you to show up, bring your kits, we're going for a hike, and that kind of thing. And then you get a lot of strugglers, then there are going to be a lot of people that are changing their minds real quick. They're going to be like, no, I can't do this anymore. All right, I'm done. I'm done doing it. You're going to end up with that. But to avoid that, all right, folks, we're going to go on a hike. Leave your stuff in the car. We're just going to go hiking as a group. We're going to walk and sip water, and then in a week we're going to meet up, and then we're going to do this. In a week we're going to meet up and do this. See what I mean? You work up to that. It's just like esprit de corps, all that stuff, military related stuff. How you develop all this stuff and build a strong foundation. You want a strong foundation. To build a strong foundation, you have to do these baby steps first. Dave, it's time to tie your shoes. See what I mean? I'm not saying that we need to strap on diapers. I'm just saying that there's baby steps to this stuff. It's not just let's go. It's not like that, right? It's not everyone strap in, we're gonna jump this cliff. All right, hold my beer. It's not like that. That's not the way any of this stuff operates. Okay? It's not. You're not gonna build anything good from that. That's me sharing. That's my thought process. That was on my mind this morning when I woke up, and I just wanted to share that with all of you. All right. Hopefully I make sense. Please tell me if I make sense, or if I don't, if you sound like you are a nut, just stop talking. Okay. All right. God bless you guys. Take care. Have a fabulous day, and we love you.